We've all heard that giving is good for the soul, but today I want to show you why giving is also good for your balance sheet. I'm Danita Harris, Director of Philanthropy and Alternative Wealth Strategist, and for over 2 decades, I've helped corporations, high net worth individuals, professional athletes, and family offices use charitable giving not just as an act of goodwill, but as a strategic growth and brand positioning tool. Because here's the truth: generosity has an ROI, and when done intentionally, giving builds your brand equity, deepens stakeholder loyalty, and yes, delivers real tax advantages. Today, we're going to look at how charitable giving can do three things for your clients: grow their business, protect their legacies, and strengthen our collective economic impact. So, just for identity's sake, these are some of the clients that I've worked with, past and present. In the top left corner would be Lincoln Kennedy, retired NFL commentator currently for the Las Vegas Raiders. My aunt and I, who was part of our family legacy, which was the House of Mercy. Josh Howard would be next to that. I helped him develop and start and fundraise for his nonprofit organization. Directly below him would be George Lynch and his two kids, retired NBA. Both Josh and he are retired NBA. And then right next to that picture would be a conglomerate of different people, from MLB, Major League Baseball, to some more corporate level clientele that I've worked with here in the city. And then my parents would be to the top right hand side of the photo. So let's talk about the cultural shift from conspicuous consumption to conspicuous contribution. In the 1800s, conspicuous consumption was a term describing how people displayed their wealth through luxury. And to be honest, we see it all the time with professional athletes that I've worked with and their desire to acquire alternative assets like cars and clothes and jewelry and homes. But we all know that true wealth isn't always about what you can show, it's about what you can sustain. Today's wealth builders, especially in our community, are rewriting these rules by adding a little bit more depth to the conversation. We're moving from visibility to viability, from status to substance, from conspicuous consumption to conspicuous contribution. The new flex isn't the Bentley per se, it's the scholarship the business funds, your foundation, your family builds, or the opportunity you create for the next generation. Your clients want to be known for more than just success. They want significance. And as their planners, we have the power to turn that desire into strategy. Now let's talk numbers, because giving smart is giving strategically. And after all, a lot of people are into charitable contributions for the tax deductions. I know, especially when I work with a lot of sports athletes, their financial advisor or tax advisor specifically sets up their charitable nonprofit organization just for that sole purpose. So it's no wonder that 67% of all athlete funded and founded nonprofit organizations will fail within several years, especially after they retire. And that includes ARODs, which tells you it's not about funding, it's about governance. Number one, let's talk about donor advised funds, which I'm sure you all are completely aware of at this point. There's been so much press about them. They offer immediate deductions, as you know, while retaining flexibility to support causes that reflect cultural or community priorities. There's been a lot of scrutiny for these types of vehicles, from my knowledge, based off of the limited flexibility that they offer when establishing newer, more easier transferable from one generation to the other vehicles in comparison to an older product that we are all familiar with, which are the CRTs, or charitable remainder trusts, which obviously defer capital gains and provide lifetime income, while ensuring legacy giving aligns with the family values. Then, of course, there's our specialty at Geist Wealth Management, which is non-cash asset donations like gold, physical silver, art, real estate, international development in real estate, other business interests. Particularly powerful for high net worth Black entrepreneurs who hold a significant equity or collectibles. And one of the reasons that we got into that niche at Geist Wealth Management is simply because there's a limited access to on-ramps for investors who want those types of assets. Most financial planners and advisors aren't giving the access place and point for clients because, quite frankly, they're not getting paid a commission to know about art or to know about luxury vehicles, although every time we work with a client, it is a huge desire of theirs. And sports collectibles right now are outperforming the stocks and bonds. And last but not least, private family foundations. These are, of course, established family-led giving structures that educate the next generation about wealth responsibility and not just wealth enjoyment. And one of the big conversations in the family office space, so we're talking not family board advisor space, but the family office space, which is a minimum of 50 million in assets, that they have just as many holes to fill and help needing to assimilate family governance and how that inheritance will transfer and the wealth that is going to be distributed from one generation to the next. So even in these vehicles, while they offer great tax benefits at the bottom line, a lot of it is inclusive of entire family dynamics, because charitable giving isn't just a tax deduction, it's also a wealth preservation and identity strategy. It allows our clients to redirect taxable dollars into causes that build both reputation and representation. So let's take a little bit of a turn from the individual client to one that might be multifaceted and own a small to medium-sized business. Giving as a brand is part of your growth strategy if you are a business owner. Let's talk about how giving, when done right, is actually building equity beyond your portfolio. There's brand differentiation that you can help to establish yourself with your customers within your local communities. So it's not just all about business, but it's a mission developed within the confines of that business. Also, for employee retention, it's a very big selling point for a lot of employees of what that particular corporation does to give impact back into the communities to which their employees are living and working. One of our largest accounts, they actually seek out from their $750,000 employee giving fund, charitable organizations within the areas where their employees work and live, so that they have a bigger presence and more impact within those communities. You can also utilize media leverage and investor attraction, of course, with employee giving that align strategies to both attract capital and credibility to your organization. So in a world of constant consumption, contribution is how you stand apart. It's visible, admirable, and measurable, and a story that people want you to share. So the story for me and my family is always about giving is our legacy. My grandmother started the House of Mercy in Columbus, Georgia in the 70s, late 60s, 70s. It's still standing today. But through the years, my dad has taken on a different adaptation where he has infused the travel component with it. And then I've taken the reign from there and now added philanthropic tourism to the business component that my dad had already built in two separate silos. So infusing the cultural importance as well as the mission and the legacy in your strategy as a small business really speaks volumes beyond what your marketing budget can do for your organization. To evolve from check writer to change maker, create a strategic framework that aligns your mission with the market, that leverages your assets. Don't just donate, deploy an intellectual capital, relationships, and brand influence, connecting with your giving at what your business does best. Measure your impact, like building dashboards for returns, and amplify the storage. And if you need a partner, the Geist Foundation was built to help you turn intent into measurable, compliant, and meaningful impact. At the Geist Foundation, we help connect small to large corporations with community efforts who could really use your local support. Because when your clients incorporate giving into their business DNA, they're not just writing the check, they're actually writing chapters in their brand story. It's reputation, retention, and reach all rolled into one strategy. Here's how we move from giving emotionally to giving intentionally. In the last slide, we talked a little bit about framework, but let's go a little bit deeper. For the mission to align, you have to identify the causes that align with personal and business values. Then structure planning around that by selecting the right vehicles like DAFs, CRTs, or a foundation. I know for me, a lot of professional athletes always want to start a private foundation or a public foundation, and I've deterred them from that and instead have helped them align with local nonprofit organizations who have been doing the work and are already doing the work to maximize their presence in the community and the return on their investment dollar-wise. Then from there, governance deployment helps you to engage the heirs or key employees in the giving process. Buy-in is huge. What we're seeing a lot of is the causes that the grandparents wanted to support aren't necessarily the same of the next generation or the generation after that. So we sit down at Geist Wealth Management and Geist Foundation and help facilitate the conversation that makes both sides happy and wanting to continue to engage in the family philanthropy